The mother tongue. I am my language.
Ini ni lugha yapo.
Mimi ni lugha yangu.
Ndi lugha yanje.
Ndi lugha yandi.
Ani kabila mara.
What you are hearing is the beginning of this documentary on the use of the mother tongue among young people. Let's begin by understanding what is the mother tongue. The dictionary meaning of the mother tongue is the first language somebody learns as a child at home. And by extension, it reveals there is a connection between the language and one's culture. Dr. Zakaria Wanakacha Samita is a senior lecturer in Kenyatta University, an expert in African culture and religious studies. He draws this connection and puts it this way.
Culture is embedded in language. Language carries culture in a very significant way because people's philosophy is expressed through language. People's deepest ideas are expressed through language. So language becomes a very important channel of expressing and communicating culture. In fact, as part of the colonization process, the first target was the language, because colonizers knew that if you can colonize people by making them not speak their language, you have already won half the battle. So they started with language.
Now, if the mother tongue is given such priority and relevance, what does it mean to the young people themselves?
I speak English, Kiswahili, Sheng, but my mother tongue is my original language, which is Kikuyu.
My language is Kiswahili.
It is any language that I speak at home, dialect or Kiswahili.
A recent research I conducted on the attitude of young people towards their mother tongue shows that 75% of young people in urban areas do not understand their mother tongue or do not speak it for the following reasons or more.
I have no idea how to speak my mother tongue.
Even my parents speak English and Kiswahili to me, so where do you expect me to learn mother tongue from?
My mother tongue is not cool.
Voices of different young people speaking to me there. Experts on culture have established that there is a connection between the language and identity. In a society where young people are not conversant with their mother tongue or disconnected from it, what implication does that have? Dr. Samita continues.
In this case, it will mean that these children will be what somebody called, they'll be rootless. They don't have roots. Yeah, they are human beings, but they don't have deep cultural roots.
Further investigation shows that some of the factors that contribute to the use of other languages, in this case English, Sheng or Kiswahili by young people, could be:
I don't have someone to train me how to talk it.
I'm a house girl. My name is Millicent. I stay with a kid. I do not understand her language, so I just talk to them Kiswahili and English.
Okay, right now, actually they're still very young. So the only language I can hear is Kiswahili or English. I can say that I do try once in a while. Like sometimes when I'm angry, I'll throw one Kijaluo. Like Abirogoi, Ichanda Nades, I'll beat you. Why are you bothering me so much? Yeah, such kind. But for the dad, he totally doesn't speak the mother's language. I've never heard him speaking that language. In the house, he's never spoken that language to the kids.
Sharon Akinyi, a student at Beacon of Hope Academy, Millicent, a house help as she has already mentioned, and Mrs. Bent, a mother of two, all of them sharing their different perspectives. Obviously, parents have a role to play. I also spent an evening with Mrs. Jane Jenga in her home, and she tells me why she can't pass on the mother tongue to her children.
You see, even us guys, when we are being brought up, who are taught English and Swahili, mother tongue to us is so difficult. At my age right now, do you know there are some words I don't know in Kikuyu? Somebody would say something to me in Kikuyu, and I don't know. So, am I to blame? No. But once in a while, I try talking to him in Kikuyu.
And does he understand Kikuyu?
Yes, he does. He can answer.
Do you understand Kikuyu?
Yes.
Na unapenda Kikuyu?
Yes.
My daughter is one who cannot speak Kikuyu, but she understands. Even if you speak to her in Kikuyu, she cannot answer you in Kikuyu. If she answers, it's broken. Yeah.
So the problem is, because you don't understand Kikuyu yourself, it's difficult to transfer the
language to these ones. But I try once in a while. I talk to them in the little Kikuyu I know. But otherwise, English, Swahili, kuja hapa rudi. You come back here. Yeah. You've not had me saying in Kikuyu, okay.
According to an article written on the 7th of March 2015 in Kenya's most widely read newspaper, Daily Nation, it says Kenyan government last year announced a policy requiring mother tongue to be used as the media for instruction. Sankale is a teacher at the Beacon of Hope Academy, and Ian Maranye, a teacher also in an American system called the Accelerated Christian Education. They both shared their thoughts on that.
It's a good idea. The only thing is the methodologies of how to bring out that, such that it doesn't end up the way it's in the political platform. It gives students an identity. For instance, if I'm a Kikuyu teacher and I have other Kamba students, Kalenjin and Luo students, I don't make Kikuyu be the thing and the rest are nothing. No, I have to be careful in that it brings out the uniqueness of every and the strength of every culture, such that it doesn't end up drumming up support for one. So the methodology is very important.
It's good if they appreciate their mother tongue, they appreciate their cultures and where they are from. So that tendency of speaking their mother tongue, I think they shouldn't be into it, but at least they get to understand the common words that they should use, that they are normally used by for example, their parents. So like for now, we have this the common language that use English. It will corrupt the language, and most of the century we are in now, like culture is not appreciated that much. Yeah, it's fading away actually. So like it's better if they just know it, hear it, but not to speak it, or like it's a new century. It's not like long ago things used to be.
To find out what the reality is on ground, I stood among a group of young people to hear what they speak. Again, Sheng is one of the strongest rivals of the mother tongue, especially among young people.
My name is Ivan Odhiambo Oduol. I'm 23. I'm a Kenyan, and basically I speak Sheng because for you to fit in the society, basically, you cannot live in Rongai, for example, and survive if you act a different way. You have to merge in, you have to blend in with the people for you to live comfortably. So I don't see the use of talking my mother tongue with them. I'd rather speak Sheng because that's the national youth language. Okay. But mother tongue is just not useful.
Now listen to this also. Do you speak Sheng?
Mazemi ongea Sheng siku zote jo.
Why do you like Sheng?
Hii ni bamba jo. Si hiyo ndo language si ongea kila day hapo hivi mchana mzima yani. Hivyo ndo vile tumezoea.
Do you think you ever stop speaking Sheng?
Ngori jo, ngori. Tumezoea mazee, unajua ma youth tunaongea hii language kila mchana hapa hivi alafu tumelewana hivi sasa inakuwa ngori jo.
Do you understand your mother tongue?
Naelewa. Mimi ongea pia time kiasi hivi nini.
Which do you prefer, your mother tongue or Sheng?
Mimi naelewa Sheng jo. Mimi urada Sheng kuliko hata mother tongue.
Brian Araka, a student journalist from Multimedia University, explaining to me in Sheng why he prefers Sheng to mother tongue and would rather speak Sheng. To put all this into perspective, I spoke to more young people and I asked them one question. Do you speak your mother tongue?
No, I try. Because when I try to speak it, other people speaking my mother tongue, when I speak in front of them, I feel embarrassed.
Because you don't know how to speak it.
Yeah.
What do you speak at home?
Slang and English.
No, not fluent. Not fluent. I wasn't brought up in it.
No, I don't. I don't know like half of it. I only know a bit.
I find it challenging.
The good news, however, is that there are still other young people who see the need for speaking the mother tongue, and this is how they responded to the same question.
I know how to speak my mother tongue. I speak Kitachoni. In Kitachoni greetings, you can say Oriena. Then the person can answer Amalai. Amalai means I'm good.
I can't run away from my mother tongue. My mother tongue is what makes me what I am. It's the way you have your identity. It's my identity. I can't run away from it. It keeps me going.
I do a lot with my family members back in up country, my grandmother, my cousins, their family.
My mother tongue is cool. Actually, I find it cool. Many times I've been sent home because of speaking my mother tongue. Yeah, from school. So I love my mother tongue. It's so awesome. Mother tongue is where we come from. That's us. So you just can't leave us behind. Yeah, everywhere you'll go, even if you go out of the country, one day you'll still remember you're a Kikuyu, you're a Luya, or you're a Kisi.
In the midst of all these, what remains relevant is a pressing need to promote the use of the mother tongue in homes, especially by the young people of this 21st century. What can likely be the way forward? Robert Gatish is a practicing psychologist. He tells us more.
In the case where a child missed to pick up on probably the mother tongue in this impressionable age, then they also have a chance to do that at a later stage in life. So one easy way for this particular individual to achieve this is if he is in the company of peers who use this language frequently. And again, through learning, acquiring this information, processing it and putting it into practice, then it is quite possible for this individual to, pick up that mother tongue.
And Dr. Samita, once again, from the cultural point of view, wraps it up by saying,
if we want them to understand and appreciate our culture, then we have to find a way of having them to speak the mother tongue, because that's the only way, or that is the most significant way through which they can get to their culture or our culture. Because without a language, then you cannot have a very good entry point into people's culture or our own culture. They would have denied these children the right to appreciate, to be closer to their culture. You see, we don't want to be the ones to fail to pass on cultural values to our children. We give the next generation a cultureless kind of reality situation. I think that will not be good.
Therefore, the importance of the mother tongue can never be overemphasized. There is need for contributory efforts from parents to consciously decide to teach their children the mother tongue or employ alternative option. Mr. Boaz Kamina is a father of a 7-year-old child, and this is what happens in his absence.
In terms of language, it's very key. Apart from the English and Kiswahili, I normally tell the houseboy to normally talk to him in the mother tongue.
The mother tongue would live if each person makes a conscious decision to give it life and existence. These young people from different places expresses it in this way.
Hey there, my name is David and I speak my mother tongue. Do you?
Be proud of your mother tongue. I am my language.
Be proud of your mother tongue. I'm proud of mine and I speak it.
I am young and I speak my mother tongue. My mother tongue is cool.
And Professor Ngugi wa Thiong'o, a renowned Kenyan author, in talking about the mother tongue, says, and I quote, "For to deny a child, any child, their rights to the mother tongue, to bring up such a child as a monolingual English speaker in a society where the majority speak African language is nothing short of child abuse." And that brings you to the end of this documentary prepared and produced by Amaka Okoye.